Great way to start a video. Chicxulub asteroid impact crater causing shocked quartz from an iridium-rich KT extinction boundary inducing asteroid. Sulfur dioxide acid rain afterwards. Hell on Earth. Question by Gerter, Keller, and Thierry Adat in 2009 and 2010 that said Deccan volcanism, that's a period of time where there was a lot of volcanism, and its environmental consequences were the most likely major cause of dinosaur extinctions, not an asteroid impact. Interesting hypothesis. Reasoning from another person. 15% of observable asteroids are binaries. Only 2.4% of the impacts on Earth are binaries. Ergo, in 2013, Katrina Malkovic and others decided they must be really binary impacts, rather than binary asteroid sets have a lower likelihood of hitting the Earth, and maybe we get hit with singular asteroids more often, by 3 to 1 or something. Since all the asteroids that we've been able to observe at all, or impacts that have been reported by eyewitnesses, indicate a single bolide. Next one, totally unrelated. Google Street View UFO sightings again. This one went from a while ago. Jacksonville, Texas. ABC News shows the flying saucer and says something wrong at 2 minutes and, well, actually 20 seconds, saying you don't need the address to find it. So I sought out to prove them wrong. July 2008, Google Street View, Jacksonville, Texas, near the Capital One sign at number 299 US Route 69. No jokes. On the corner of Rusk and Jackson Street at 93. Links below in the description. And then I noticed, because it should be a duh, that since this is a lens flare as the Google Street View is running along, there might be literally a mile and a half where it doesn't matter. That day when they went through with the Google Street View camera, it had lens flare fever because the angle of the sun, and they used a cheaper camera set. So, yeah. So I was about to get ABC News for being generalization about it, and then I realized, no, literally every direction you look just about has the same lens flare. If it's July 2008 at that intersection, if you go north, south, east, and west, you see the lens flare either continually or every 4 or 5 clicks. Neat thing to look up. Also, there was a wink and a nod as they were doing it. I had to back up the video and realize that the cameraman who was doing the video interview with the guy, one of the ABC News guys, deliberately took off the lens filter that prevents lens flares and made sure it was loaded with lens flares in the video. Kind of giving a hint, and everyone's like, do you think all the lens flares and the jokes about it being too bright out and it being the same month of the year might have something to do with it? Swinging the camera around wildly, lots of lens flare. Yeah, even ABC News can make a joke about hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge to a blind bat. Maybe you're looking at what caused it. But then again, maybe I'm reading too much into it. So anyway, that was the fun stuff for the day. Not so much the asteroid impact that took out well, you get the idea. But the claim may be that it wasn't actually a single event. It might have been multiple, or it might have been some other thing going on at the same time. So it's interesting. I might actually do a vid on that. Now, why am I bringing these up? These are the leftovers. These were projects I was going to do today to try to put something up that would be useful or entertaining. And now we're going to read the comment of the day. As usual, the comment of the day is always a negative one. I got a bunch of positive ones. Thanks all of you for being nice, but nobody cares when I'm given compliments. But for a debunking channel, you serve too little facts. basically just showing unrelated content and raging over something that happened without explaining it. I like how you analyze the channel. This is about a channel called Maiden J that did a bogus claim using DMCA abuse and that sort of thing. But the content in general is very vague. I can understand if this is especially targeted other people that already know about the incident, but if you had taken a slightly more generic approach, I personally would think about taking a look at your other content. This video, however, does not prompt me in doing so, as my expectation is that your other videos match this format and level of detail. Please take this as constructive criticism, meant respectful and objective. Typing on a phone is a pain in the ass, but I feel that this comment might be of actual interest to you. Thank you for your correct critique and rational and sensible and shamelessly normal statement. What are you doing on YouTube? So when people do this, I don't get to do this very often. This is an actual critique of my channel based on a video, which is a bad idea, but then again, we all do it because honestly, there are millions of channels. So thank you for your comment. Yes, in that video, it was just me doing a quickie, sometimes called a stub, although it's a long, drawn-out yelling thing. The main thing is that hopefully the description in the video did a better job, and I will endeavor not to do such a poor job. Thank you. Now, where are the rest of you? I like it when people give me compliments. I like it when people say, thank you very much, this was informative. I also really like it when people, say neener neener and, have a little fun with me. But when someone comes along and actually seriously says, this is beneath what I would expect from a video, or maybe beneath what you've done in previous videos if the person sees my channel, I actually take this to heart, and it doesn't hurt my feelings. And I appreciate it. And it doesn't happen very often. And yeah, the first part of the video, I was trying to do a decent critique of that channel that had done something unnecessary. I think that they're a shill channel and that they push things and blah, blah, blah. And, whatever. Most channels on YouTube, depending on when they started and who they were started by, you're going to find a shit ton of them that are literally just advertisement, blatant. And most of them are smart enough to tell Google, we're doing advertising and we're doing it entertainingly, but you need to know that we're an advertising company, or we're doing this as an advertising, or we're doing this as a sponsored ad, and that's it. And as long as you're upfront with Google about it, it's great. But when you do that, they also tell you, if you're doing advertisements, by definition, advertisements are copywritten material. But because they're advertisements, you cannot claim to have some sort of artistic license being violated by people making fun of your shake weight. Type that in, parodies everywhere. Or critiques. They literally tell you if you're going to do an advertisement that's paid advertisement on it, on something, or if you're using your channel for advertising products, they tell you flat out, we won't honor any DMCA takedowns unless it's really a good idea to do so. And they also say that since you're making money off the channel, you'll be monetized. It's considered that you're a monetization channel, which means instead of you getting ads on the channel, you are an advertisement. They then treat it as if you do any infraction, they just take your channel down. So you're taking a risk. And a lot of people will simply not be upfront with YouTube and Google, and they can get away with doing a DMCA takedown when it would be very strenuously analyzed and found to be false. And I didn't bring that up in the video or anything else. So I do appreciate the critique. I should have gone into those details. I should have made it more informative to people. And also talked about using counterdmca.org, I think it is, or .tv, or whatever the website is. I'll look it up again. For dealing with counter DMCA so you don't get doxxed, and also dealing with it in a real legal way where you get legal representation. The Electronic Frontier Foundation won't normally do that, but they will if it is a cause celeb and will actually help everybody on every platform to prevent DMCA abuse. My personal opinion is DMCA should be removed as a safe harbor function, just disabled. You should have to. And the thing is, it is supposed to be that if you say, no, I didn't steal their content, take the DMCA takedown notice down, then they have to sue you. YouTube and Google are supposed to stay out of it. And they don't. They take down your channel a lot like you're doing an advertisement with them knowing about it. And that's the kind of thing, is that unless you're a commercial channel, doing commercials, or you're doing sales and or whatever, like putting a video, hey, here's what I've got on eBay. This is a paid advertisement because I'm doing advertisements for my own stuff. I'm paying myself. That's why they treat those differently. That's why those channels don't get really top ranking, but YouTube and Google don't take them down a lot because those people actually follow the rules. It's kind of funny that people who are blatantly shilling shit normally don't break rules. That's why this was such an odd thing. It's very obvious that the channel's trying really hard to be salesmen. But then again, every once in a while I'll do that. I'll put up something I really like. I don't get paid for it, but I'll do that. And once in a while I used to get a note where they'd say, are you doing this as an advertisement? And I said, I'm not getting paid. I'm doing this because I really like them. They don't know about it, and they didn't authorize it. And then I get the notice. If you do this often enough, we'll treat you as if you're a commercial channel doing advertising. And that's how I found out about this. I got warned once, and it's like, okay, I won't do it anymore. But that gives you an idea of how hardcore you'd have to be a really obvious DMCA takedown thing and still be easily confused with a infomercial channel. I should like to point out that VAT, whatever it is, I forget the name of it, VAT something, VAT 18, they literally do advertisements, but they do them in entertaining ways, but they're selling stuff. And the funny part about that, look up just Hans Gretel, Das Boot, if you want to have fun. That channel is actually notorious for never filing a DMCA takedown because they know the value of people doing parody versions, which there's a shit ton. And that's why, that's why I like YouTube, or used to like it a lot. That's what made it worth buying. The other thing that makes it worth keeping up is us treating it with, I hate saying this, but treating this platform with some respect. And I do apologize if I have failed to do what I should have done in that previous video. So thank you for your critique, and I thank everybody for putting up with me bringing up the asteroid that took out the dinosaurs and Google Street View UFOs, where the news was actually being completely sane and wink, wink, nudge, nudging people, hoping that somebody would actually be clever enough instead of talking down to us like a bunch of children. This has been a very uplifting day. And I was going to critique these scientists, but they do have a good point. It's not that good of a point, but it is kind of odd about how we just accept that it was one asteroid hit. So I'm going to actually do a video on that, if I can get enough information, because apparently even they had to say, we can't find any information either. So yeah, back to square one. Anyway, thanks. Have a good day. Good luck.